Alright, trim and shave up, you know? Or no, you trim, just shave up. Alright, in the earlier video, I stated how much money I waste on courses and things of that nature. Like, I did a closing course and Cisco course and so, and that leads to a question. If I do so much courses, why them all fail, you know? Or why I'm not benefiting from those courses? And my mother said, oh, you always start things and don't finish, but you know, at start and don't finish. Sometimes things happen, some technical things. And I'm going to go in a bit of those things and just show. Like, it's not anything like high school or post high school when I had other priorities and I wasn't going in that direction when I was just not focused and just to enjoy life as a young teen or whatever, or when I was doing music and I wasn't pursuing academics. I'm talking about since I start working and decided I want to do some courses to further qualify myself to earn more money from my jobs. So the one that I tried first was the I did a Cisco course, a Cisco. I was always in Cisco out here from as far back as 2008, I believe, or 2007. I did sectors. I did the Cisco Networking Associate at the Vector Institute of Technology, and it was easy because all my life I've been an IT person, self-taught, fixing computers, everything, you know. So, and when I say self-taught, it's not anything major, just like networking, like stuff like that, you know. Networking, as in to wire the building, run the cables, put in the thing about the cable I'm going and them stuff there, configure it on the PC, set up that networking. Back then I was doing even things like submitting without knowing anything about it, as in how much addresses can go in there, you know, whether it's 64, 32, 16 or things of that nature. I never know anything like that. I was just putting in things, and then I did the Cisco and I learned about submitting. So I passed through the Cisco. It was very easy. Most modules back then, Cisco was 4 modules. The Cisco Networking Associate was 4 modules, and I was told if I do that, I could get a decent job out here, just having the pass the modules, and if I do the certification exam, I could get a job internationally. But without being certified, I could get a job out here. So I just did the basic. I never have the money to do the exam. Was my mother paying me, and I passed everything. All 4 modules, flying colors, easy. And every test in the module, I get over 90 or 100. Most of them 100. It was very easy. But when I was supposed to get my certificate at the end, for some reason the teachers say, or when I went to the front desk, they said that they couldn't find it. I don't know if the teacher lost it. I asked the teacher, him said that him 17. The front desk said that them can't find them. I only got 2 out of my four certificates, but that never stopped me from getting any kind of work. I was able to get a job when Digital was launching the 4G, and to date, back in 2008, that has been my highest paying job. Even though the 2023 whatever I get job, I haven't been paid as much as I was doing that, and that was a 6 month contract, and it was only temporary because Digital was doing the rollout of the 4G, and they only needed extra staff for the rollout. So they gave me a vehicle to drive, and I was doing installations, which was not really just selling wireless a modem using a bit of sales. That's it. You can't really install a wireless modem. You know, you just put it down and it pick up the signal, or do some basic troubleshooting to find the best spot in the house or something if it don't work or things of that nature, basically. So I did that, and it paid off. After the contract up, it was not renewed. Though I was offered a position, or they made me aware of a position where I could work in office earning a bit less, and at the time I declined. Something I wish I never did, but um, such is life. And since then, the another course I did was the Cisco again. In around 2020 or whatever, I decided to say I'm going to do the Cisco, and from there probably to come to here and get fully qualified. Those are all IT courses, as in professional certificates that is valid everywhere. So I was doing the Cisco in 2020, 22, whatever, online Pearson.com, which is the official global Cisco partner. And it was actually easier than out here because instead of having to go to a school and pay like an instructor or a teacher or peer at school, and you go and sit down for an hour, and you know the time take to go school, time to come back, it would take long and cost much more. So I just paid the global partner directly, and it was on around 250 US or so. I did that out of my own pay, and I was doing it this time. It passed from 4 modules to 10 because Cisco is a thing where it add on as technology increase, it increase. It's a thing where you have to recertify yourself every 4 or 2 or 3 years. I don't know, but you have to be recertified because Cisco want to make sure so that you do have the certificate and you can't do anything or like I don't think become obsolete. So Now it grew from 4 models to 10, and from 10 models I was doing it, and it was very easy again. I was just at home watching the videos, um, using the simulator. There's a virtual simulator where you can simulate a network and program the routers on the network. Back in 2004, had to download software on the computer, but this time it was all online. I was doing it, passing through everything, very easy, flying colors. And then by the time I reached the 4 module, it stopped recording my progress. I never actually realized until I reached probably the 5th module or so. But when I go back and check, it was not showing say it was complete. So everything I was did since after 4 module, it was incomplete. There was no check boxes, no check mark, so I couldn't continue because it wasn't logging my progress. I talked to the tech department through the chat or through the email, whatever. Them said I'm checking through it or whatever, and it fixed on their end, but it was still not recording the progress. I was wondering if it was my network, if it's so I use a firewall. No, the same thing, nothing happened. So I checked the computer settings. I went in the browser to see if there was anything blocking the upload of the cookies or blocking anything. I I am actually not sure, but I went in the browser and I disabled every security feature that I think could hinder its submitting my response. I tried different browsers. I was using uh, a MacBook, so I used my Safari, I used Chrome, I used Opera, and same thing. So I had to abandon that course that was 250 US down the drain, and it was basically they gave you 1 year access to the course, and even 3 4 years later I could still log into the course and still do the course if I want, which showed that somehow I was not a part of the course. I don't know if I was moved into some shadow realm or like something, but it just stepped me out of the course. My progress wasn't being logged, and I just have like perpetual access. It's probably like a year ago or 2 years ago, I checked and I was finally blocked from the 1 year access with I'm gonna pay for. So I'm finally out of the course. So that was the reason for that, why that don't went worse. It's not like I'm a quitter, but that's what happened one time I do online courses. So I started to do this closing course, and I watching YouTube videos. I came across this dude named Mike Baron. I have a closing course. Closing is really sales. It's called closing. Finalize the deal, the close the deal. It was closing course. He's the self-taught person who learned sales or whatever. No, not self-taught. He actually learned of courses, but he's this Latino dude named Mike Baron. It was a closing course, high ticket course from a ad on YouTube I saw. The course cost 7,000 US. Um, it was a little before COVID or like little after COVID or during COVID. So I decided I want to do the course because the average closer on his team earning anywhere from 5,000 to 15, 20,000 US per month. And as a Jamaican, that would be a lot of money. Even if I only earn 5,000 per month, that is like more than some doctors or even some politicians earn out here. So I figure I do that course. But I do have the 7,000 US. So my girlfriend at the time, she sponsored me. Not the 7,000 US, but I spoke with them and they said I could get in for like 1,000 US and then pay it off. And like I made a deal because part of the course is where um, they would find a job for you at the end. So they train you and they place you in a job because there's a great need for high ticket closers. They have clients like Tony Robbins and many notable clients. So it's not a scam because he was even featured in Forbes magazine. So it's not a scam. It's not anything anything illegal. I came in the midst of him just training and videos to him opening a facility, this big building out in California and where his closed academy where they train people. So and of course, like the average YouTube person, him have like a Lamborghini and a bunch of other cars, like a GTR or so. But it's not like it's a person just posing in front of a Lamborghini. He was really doing this, and his top closers and so earn money and so forth. So I was doing the course, a bunch of videos, like very thorough, teaching everything about sales. Um, but in order to like convince my girlfriend, I had to do a meeting with them. So like I did a Zoom meeting with them, and the two top closers was there, and they spoke to her and assured her, said, look, I've been making that in no time. So I was planning to do it, pay her back, and I got a deal where I said, all right, since they will place me in a job at the end of the course, I paid 1,000 now, and then when I start to work, the remaining would be taken out of my salary, and I would pay them back the remaining. So that would be $6,000 because the cost of the course was 7,000 US. So I did the course, and I was doing it, going through the videos, and then when it reached point for me to do the final exam, cause you do some tests, like one where you do like a live call to like set an appointment, cause that's where they start you. They start you off as an appointment setter, and so like an appointment setters earn like a smaller commission, like 5% or so, which is still a lot of money because if a person is selling like a swimming pool will cost 20,000 US or so, 10% of that or 5% is still like a lot of money. So I don't know, I think it's 10% you earn also as a private sector, and like the course again. I am not quite sure, that's like years ago. So when it was time for me to do the final exam, I got sick, or I went to the hospital. So I went to the hospital for about a month. I want to say I get sick other than more than the usual case of someone thought it was in my best interest for me to be at the hospital, you know, um, the usual thing. So I spent a month there, and when I came back, they wanted me to do the exam. But over the month, my brain was scrambled, and literally, I never actually remember anything. Because the test that I passed was a practical, where live call and I call a real person, log into the system, that's easy to do. But final exam actually kind of required me to have some sort of knowledge, and I wasn't really in the right frame of mind, so just I probably could, but I never feel confident. So I wanted to go over the videos. So I tell them, so I went to the exam and I went over the videos. Course I like repeat. I just cram every day watching videos upon videos upon videos and doing the quizzes, following the videos to where I feel confident. And then I said, no, I want to do the exam now. But one time that happened now, they locked me onto the course and said that in order for me to get back access, I have to be start paying off what I owe at a cost of around like 500 euros or so per month. And the job that I have out here as a call center rep is barely 400 US per month or something. I don't know, but when I do that, I think it was 400 or so US a month I was earning, so I couldn't pay that back. Even if they lower it to like 400, I couldn't take care of any of my expense, buy anything, no lunch, no transportation, nothing. So that course just like leave there. So that's 1,000 US down the drain, and um, that's why that never come to completion. So who do I blame? I kind of blame myself in the sense that I actually went over the whole course in like 1 month, when the first time I took like a few months. So in cramming for the course, I realized that if I had focused and do it more diligently and faster, I could finish it quicker, and it probably wouldn't get to that point where I go to the hospital or get sick or all that. So had I done it quicker the first time, then that wouldn't do that. That notwithstanding, if someone never think it was in my best interest to be in the hospital and forcibly, well, I'm taking there also, then that wouldn't happen. And I would have finished the course, and I'd be in my closing job right now, closing sales or setting appointments and earning some decent money. So that was two examples of me doing those courses, and for reasons beyond my control, that's what happened. You know, so it's not like I start things and don't finish. So a few months ago, I saw a course with JavaScript programming at the Udemy. That's not an official college, but it's a respected online platform where real instructors can teach without teaching students directly and earn directly without teaching at a college. So it's not actually a certificate like a college, but it's real instructors and people who are qualified teaching courses is rated. And I'm not sure of the qualifications, how actually respected it is, but I'll be doing it just to see how, just to learn some programming like JavaScript and see if I can do some freelance programming job with a Upwork or Fiverr or any other company that need a programmer or something. So I'll be doing that. That is part of the reason why, you know. So that's just it basically. So it's not like I have no ambition or for a lack of trying, and in the current job that I have, I actually quit that job because I was dealing with a bit of issues, and I find so even though I'm a people person, I like interacting with people, it's something that the enemy or the devil take advantage of. So, I'm not a person who is prone to outbursts or so, but I say when people like, I just rather not deal with people, or just deal with people on the phone, you know. Sometimes people get too handsy and too touchy, and I find myself being antisocial these days, Not like, I just rather talk on the phone and deal with customers that way. So, that's even the reason why I started wearing these long sleeve shirts under my shirt, under my polo shirt, or my work clothes, because I find I do like it when strangers or people just touch me or so, or like, so when I have these long sleeve shirts or them touch me, then I don't really mind that much, I guess, but I guess, you know, and so I'd be working from home, and then doing the programming, studying, and doing the vlogs and the videos. So for all those people who care to know, this is like it's a public service announcement, So yeah, and I'm doing this because I actually believe there's a call on my life. There's some things I know, some things I say that the average person don't say, that I don't believe God would allow me to say and know these things if He didn't want me to share it with the world. And many things that I go through, I'm thankful that I go through them, because if I never went through those things, I wouldn't know some of the things, but I know. And I guess be going through the world more naive and blind and more susceptible and vulnerable to the tactics or the schemes of the enemy. That, and when I say schemes, I mean basically, other words, tactics or say, is not is not a reference to anything or any interaction with anybody in the past, because that don't even register as anything on my mind, you know. Um, that's neither here nor there to me, of like nothing. So, you know, that's just basically it. So everybody again, take care, have like a wonderful day, you know. So look out for the music. The music is coming, you know. Omar, OHMR, ohm is that's electrical signal for resistance, and I believe in the resistance of the world, by being a child of God, to be in the world and not of the world. So I resist. I'm like the Democrats who resist everything that Trump do, you know. But I'm not a Democrat. If I was in the politics, I actually be a Republican, because um, like everything that Donald Trump is doing, and it can give me hope for the world, or hope for, well, it give me hope for America and hope for the world, because the world marks to the beat of America's drum, you know. Under Trump, hopefully by example, by the previous administration, forcibly through USAID and other programs where them sponsor and spread them woke LGBT trans thing to teach, and have transgender people teaching kids in school, or have governments adopt them policies or use them puppets, or else them overthrow and change the regime, and so using terrorists to get out people like Gaddafi and so forth, just to take over the gold, and all the place full of beer terrorists and slave and all them stuff there. Not the US per se, but the globalist people who were in control of the US, who are now burning up Tesla dealerships and so forth, because Donald Trump and Elon Musk is like getting to the source of their funding, the money that them steal, in a bid to like bankrupt and destroy America, and then institute a new world government or a new world order. So those people who are supporting them don't even know that the ultimate plan is to use and discard America. That's what them to use and discard. So the aim from ever since from 1919, from the American Constitution, you know, there's this book I should read, The Secret Service, that actually define all those things and show how it came to be in this great plot to like destroy America, you know, and them do it with the Nazis first, them puppets and all. I won't actually get into that until I have a course, until I write it out. So I'm going to write out everything and try to do it in a concise, quick way. So I won't just randomly, you know, just talk and rant or just say way. I'm going to put everything in a structured, organized way, you know. Everything what I learned, which I was actually doing on my Instagram channel, Nom de Plou. So I'm just going to do that in a structured way, and then make a video using my computer with the webcam and so forth, and go through everything in a nice, concise way so everybody can understand. Because when you understand the history of the world, what is driving it, and how we reached to this point, then you can understand why some things happen the way they do, you know. And because these people have such cohesive and holistic control of all the systems of the world. I think about it. When the devil was tempting Jesus, he was able to offer him all the kingdoms of the world and all that, because he was in charge of it from them time, because as the Bible, as he told you, it's given unto him, you know. That's his control, that God allow him to use or whatever, you know. Cause God basically gets a filter people, and he's doing what he's doing thinking he's winning. Well, actually no, because him read the Bible, so him know how everything end. So he's just trying to hurt God by using us and turning who God love. So that's something what I realized that I'm devil do. The devil like to use what you love to hurt you. So him can't hurt God physically in any other way. The only other way him can try to hurt God is with emotional heartbreak or anguish. So God loved us and sent him son. He loved us so much that he did that. So the devil used us to hurt God by turning us away from God and to the sin and grieve the Holy Spirit. That's basically what the devil does, you know. So, and the same thing he does to God, he does it to us. So basically, anything what you love will be used against you, you know. So that's why I'm not into love right now, because I've been and from like a long time, this has been my stance, using logic, you know. And sometimes I admit there's people who I love and care for, and sometimes I decide to, you know what, I'll go over my logic and see if I take a chance and see if this person can prove me wrong or can overcome or so. But I have reverted and decided say I'm not trying to overcome logic, you know. I'm just basically doing it the safe way and keeping myself to myself, That's basically it, for security and peace of mind. And besides, I'm not really trusting anybody in my personal space to be around people, or you know, I don't think I trust anybody to really to like even fall asleep and close my eyes around somebody, you know. So my mom more so would say that it's because of whatever, paranoid, whatever, and try to like diagnose it as some sort of illness or so. But this has been me for the longest while, from like ever since. You know, it's part of the reason why I'm not a promiscuous person, even when I was a promiscuous person, or like even when I had no inhibitions holding me back, because I don't really trust people, and I've always been a not so touchy person. I have to trust somebody to get close to them. Even when I was a shallow person, just who just wants sex, I still sort of want a type of connection or so. Like my friends would always say, "Oh my, why you picky?" Yeah, they would say you picky, or them say me too fussy. Like when somebody would see me with a girl or a female friend, and like a dude would inquire if it's my girl, and say, "Yo, ask if like me and that, or if like me I clap that." I said, "No, you like just a friend." And like dude would say, "For real, just a friend?" And then to like interject, my other friend would say, "Same thing, man. Internet, same thing, man. I'm really too fussy." But I guess that I don't really um trust people. I have to like it's like there have to be some sort of precursor of a bond, or like a connection, even a slight one. I couldn't just feel wrong. I remember the first time I was doing music, like I was like young, I don't know, like fresh from high school or so, and this dude come from foreign. I won't mention his name for like personal, or like to like keep people on private. So he was this rapper come from foreign. I don't recall if he get deeper and just come out here, but basically he came from foreign, and he was trying to start like the rap thing get big like in Jamaica and so. And my roots in the country. So he decided to say, "I'm go up on the country where I'm come from, go do like a stage show or so." But he was staying in Portmore, and he was recruiting stuff. So like every Saturday or so, a bunch of up and coming artists like myself would be at him house, and him show the game and teach or whatever teach, cause he actually came from prison. So he was like a person who had a lot of information and wisdom from like all type of aspects. So I guess we and a bunch of dudes just upon the front line and just talking and show things, and we are spit bars and our freestyle and so. And they do a single, so him decided to say, back then it was about street team and getting things pushed on the radio. So it might be single I pushed on the radio. So actually I do remember. And him get a coaster bus and decided to go country go do a show. So him like go country and do the show, you know. And I was on stage as like a young person. I don't know, I think it was teens. No, what was it, teens or early 20s or so. I actually do recall. But I know he had to get permission from my mom to like carry me. And like sure I say he will take good care of me and so forth, and she allowed it. And I was take the youngest also, so I was doing the stage show and doing my verses, and the girls them pull me off of the stage. When I say pull me off, them drag me by my foot, and I pull me off of the stage like, and to be honest, it was a terrifying feeling. And you think like it would be something good, but it was actually terrifying, because just looking at them, like the look in their eyes was like, when I say voracious, like oh like see them like eat me alive. It should have been like endearing, but the way it was like a maniacal and beastly. So it was like whoa. So I, I was actually glad when I put him back on the stage. I'm like so that was that. So and then after the show, I'm chilling in the bus in the coaster, me and like one or two other artists who I don't recall them name, but we did that one reason I talk about how the show was good. And then now some girl come up and like them and say ask me if we walk down the river. Some girl and some people like say yo like like in the country. So I'm saying basically we and these girls walk go to the river, and them ask and they walk home. It's a bunch of girls going on the river and right away. That's like actually I'm late night, so have to ask what happened one time we go down the river. I guess no, I'm chilling, I'm good. And I guess chilling the bus by myself. So I'm not really a person who basically run down sex and all that. I've always been a person who like intellectual stimulation and like a sort of slight bun or so bun, cause that make a actually I'm desired person more. In addition to being turned on by what I say or like finding what I say appealing, I've always been that dude, you know. So I've like there's even other girls who like who you call who like the neighborhood gangbang or whatever who like run upon every man and I don't take part in from as far back as high school or even past high school. I could be doing those things with like many girls and I never really actually take part. I guess never up to I would say it don't feel right and like I don't think it's shyness because I never feel shy. I guess never feel the I'm desire to or so. And even when I pass those stage, when I actually feel that I'm desired to, I was actually turned off because I don't feel any any kind of joy or satisfaction in dipping into what everybody else had dipped into. Like I'm at the point, like a girl come on, she run upon everybody and like every man knock it, knock it, knock it, knock it, knock it, and then say, oh my god, I think actually I do to the point I do feel good and I do have any kind of desire to. That's just basically me, you know. And incidentally, many of those girls who do those things, you know, they like my company. They like to talk to me. I remember this one particular girl who everybody, all my friends knock, and not like debit and debit and debit. I mean like in like what like a week time or a couple of days time. My money so she knock it on, and like the next man go get film piece and get like film back into, you know. And this girl actually like at my company as in she I'm not them, right? But she don't enjoy talking to them or being around them or anything. Anytime she wants somebody to talk to or like need anything, is me she come talk and say, hey Omar so and so or like it's what she don't like all the reason and so and I don't mind as in I don't discriminate, I don't look down on her and say like why would I talk to this little slapper girl or whatever? I don't do that. I see her as like a flawed individual and I talk to her and try to figure out as in I do ask her why she did so and so, why she did that, why did that, why did that, why did that. I just talk to her through general conversation and try to see her outlook on life and try to see what leads to that, whether it's like a mother take her or she have like an nymphomaniac streak or daddy issues. When I was that, cause back in those days I wasn't aware of like I'm daddy issues, but I just thought it was something. So, you know, and that's just basically me from ever since, you know, like and incidentally, when those girls get tired of like this I'm talking this on one particular girl now. I'm talking about a particular girl. Um when she get tired of the knockings from friend them and them still want knock it and she start ignore them and not come outside, you know, when them call her, them like call me for call her cause anytime me call her she come or she or like she I'm come outside. So I'm like, Mario, you can't call her out from my way. And me being the good friend that I am, call her out and she come out and just talk to the whole way and then me walk away. So yo, alright, me I going nowhere and I like just leave she and them out there, you know. And she knock them. Or like them knock her and I always wonder why. If you do watch to them and you do walk come outside but yet still you know, you still like maybe she can actually resist or something like that. I don't know. Actually no because even when she inside our house and the more knock her with one particular friend, she like make him knock it through the grill. So it's not like she have to or she being forced. She just can't help herself. So, you know, and I don't look on her. And I have this other friend who same way. I actually like this girl, know her from high school, and she's not really like a like a gangbanger or like a knockis, but she's sort of promiscuous and she like talk to rich famous people. That girl too, cause enough artists answer the actually knock her. But I have other friend who she talked to a couple popular artists and she is not a knockis by any means, you know. As in just a person who just randomly go through and make man slap her. But it's just that her particular taste in men is not men of good quality. And I'm not judging, you know, and saying because a man is an artist and so it's not a character and not a quality. I'm just saying because those particular artists are so who she talk to never really mean her well or really have like any kind of I'm good quality. And she considered me her best friend at the time. She said, "Oh, you're my best friend," and she tell me everything her secrets. You know, I actually feel like a gay best friend because there was a time of the movie like Clueless, and the movie Clueless with Alicia Silverstone where she had the gay best friend, and I you look at everybody can say how that girl talked to me, and I say, "Yo, like does she have me? I like some sort of gay best friend or something," and I just found it funny. But anyway, she was a very beautiful girl, and enough of my friends wonder how come top it, and I never actually have the desire to, you know. Maybe in high school, you know. Um, but unlike the other girl who was the gangbang, it was more like a true friendship. In like that first girl, it was like I just sort of pity her, like not really pity, like yeah, I just sort of pity her and just talk to her and walk the help her and just like I just really I wonder why she stays so and I just try to study her so. But this girl, I don't really pity her because well, kind of, but like not in the same sense. Not I said that she want more, and she's actually hoping that one of these rich men who should talk to her, so or artists, whatever, will actually treat her how she deserve to be treated. And I saw her plight. She was poor, and enough time no food in the house. I go in the house, the fridge empty, just like I'm watering her fridge. She was living good until her like her mom died and just sharing her father. And her father not really earning the money to that. So I understand why she would want to talk to somebody who can provide for her. But she wasn't selling sex or just making anyone I'm not her. When she's talking to these artists, she was always faithful and hope for the best, and she'd bring certain interactions. I'm with them to my attention. Say, well, I was talking with so and so, and he did so and so and that, and him telling me say this and that and whatever. And she wanted to know what my take is as a man. So I tell her and so forth, and I give her basically what I think. Like I either tell her, say, yo, either like don't mean the good or like so and so, and just tell her to be careful or whatever and things of that nature. And so subsequently, she told me everything. Meaning, if I want to rob this person's house, she could because she liked to know which part the key there and all kind of something and all that, you know. And sometimes she liked to tell me too much details because on one occasion she had tell me like how him sex are. She had tell me boy like him like private parts. I was like, whoa, stop me nothing there, I don't want to hear them thing there. So but she done tell me already. But I never really actually expect to hear that. So I never she used to talk and then she just and then that come out and after that, like no, I'm like stop. I don't want to hear it again. I don't want to hear that. But suffice to say, after she tell me about in private parts and whatever, I like if I want me and her to do again, or like if I didn't even have like any plans of like being anywhere and plan to out the window. Cause you know I'm just a normal person. So that was that still, but I really admire our friendship that we have, and one of my deep I regret is that I lost contact with her because she was actually a good friend and I like helping her out, you know, like anytime she not enough food I would like carry food for her. One night me and her got teeth water from our neighbor them, and things of that nature. We used to go out and go party together. And because artists should have get me in free, sometime like backstage and so forth when I was into those things, you know. So, you know, so it was really that. And when her sister T for things and she have a sister with a T for visa and try to travel upon it and get caught and make her visa get banned and she cry and ball and I really felt her pain for her, So and I really care for her in the sense that when I start work, when I took out the insurance policy, even though I don't know her phone number, I have no contact details for her, I put her name on the policy, you know. And she had like some kids, so I remember when she got talk to this dude abroad, this England, this like drug suit that take care of her, and she would have seen me and show me how she happy how like I'm gonna treat her right. And I was really happy for her because like unlike the artist them who she used to talk to, this dude actually care for her. So I was happy for her. But then when he got caught and he went into prison, her family, his family turned like I'm against her, start treat her bad, and the money that him allocate for her, them not give it to her and so forth, And she even showed me the letter where I'm writing about how he's upset with his family, and that what will happen, and that how once him come out of jail, and will like fix and like sort out all that and so forth. But I don't remember where she's now. I don't know. I lose her contact and so forth, But I'm a person that actually I don't want to chew and ramble. But I guess going to all that to show that I've always needed like some sort of bond and so forth. And even when me and she had that bond, I had no desire to really become intimate with her. I guess really genuinely care for her, and that is something I realized like I tend to be good with females and have like a lot of female friends. When I was going to Portmore Comp College, there was other girl I know who I approached her, seeing her from behind in the skin hugging suit her pants and see the shape and start to approach her and talk to her, and she was so shapely and nice. I guess talking to her, and her back turned to me for how long, and I was talking to her for like about a minute or two, and before she actually turned around, probably 3 minutes or so. And back then I had like a lot of lyrics. I do recall what I was saying, cause I do like use pickup lines. I guess talk as a seat, and she's talking to me with her back turned, and like it went from like who's you to like I have no time to you to like I could hear the smile in her voice to be sounding coy until she finally turned around. And when she turned around, I was slightly disappointed, not slightly majorly, because I had like a big cut on her face, a big scar like so. And but I'm committed already because I was already speaking all those lyrics to her. So turning around and seeing the scar, like I'm not gonna be like whoa, sorry, no, I have to leave now. Like yeah, we'll talk to you later now. I fully commit because I was in, so go and talk to her and that was that. As in, we became very good friends. Not cause the scar or anything. Not cause of that. We just became friends because she like had a man. So of course, the man wasn't doing his part fully, So he wasn't playing a good boyfriend role. So I could actually step in, and actually did one time when it messed up big time. Me and her go to a club the first time as like a couple, like on a date, but it just felt wrong because we were friends for so long, and before that we just decided to um just to return to the friendship how it was, because to be honest, it felt wrong, like you know, and I actually like her sister too, because when I met her, I got to like her sister, because every night I would go check her, and her sister them come out. She have like two sisters, and I would talk to her sister, and I like her sister. But then again, because I started out seeking her, you can feel a way to pursue her sister. So I never really actually pursue her sister, though I thought her sister actually liked me too, you know, and but that is how we actually became friends. Like, so that kind of get me. That was my first real female friend. It put me into the mode of having female friends. Prior to that, I never thought it was possible to have like a female friend, because a woman is something you pursue to have sex with. But it kind of, I like their unique mindset on how to talk. So I think I understand a woman, you know. And in my relationships, that always last long. In like, I haven't been in a lot of relationships, but in my relationships, there's no a bunch of arguments. There's no abuse. There's no mood swings. You know, one could say it is, but I wouldn't say it is boring, because you have to learn to deal with people. But in terms of like events and ups and downs and cussing and so, it is boring in that way, you know. Um, the longest relationship I've been in is actually 4 years, and that was when I was a artist, and I was sort of reluctant to even be in a relationship. But nonetheless, I did stick in this one for 4 years, because I realized that this girl actually cared for me, and I actually did like her. I did care for her, and everything what she think I hate about her or like do like about her was actually what I like about her. And she was always insecure and jealous, thinking I'm cheating on her. That really pissed me off. That's part of the reason why it never lasts, or why we flare up. Because she was insecure of me being an artist and thinking I have a bunch of girl and my backup singers and things of that nature. So she was always trying to steer me away from the artist thing. You know, paying for courses from to trying to get me enrolled in school. One time she paid for this management course at Mind, or so I thought I should do, but I never really got, cause I never really into schooling. I was trying to be an artist, so I never got course or schooling. You know, and it was back then there was some good amount of arguments, cause I wasn't as mature and tolerant. I was sort of temperamental, or like so. But she made it work, cause if it was up to me, would have done a long time. Cause the amount of time I break with her and say it done, you know. And she always, come back and say Ray, and and then my friends and my mother and my sister would have said, "Oh, just give it a chance," and so forth. And then I would say, "All right," and so I actually realized, it was time to I like the company and like to be around, but I've always been a person that maybe I have hormone issues also, but I'm not really a genuine junkie or a person who like need to have sex right when the clock are 24/7 or so. I was a late bloomer in the sense that I never really hunt down sex like my friends. You know, my first girlfriend came at like a mandate when they say, "Yo, Omar, all the way have girl, and you can't hang around with me unless you have a girlfriend." So I go out and get a girlfriend. You know, in like that sense. You know, and even when I had a girlfriend, you know, it wasn't really anything. In fact, the first time I have sex, I was disappointed because I grew up from a child and years from all my friends having sex and I rage about it and I go on like the sweetest thing. And then when I finally have it, it was good, but I was shocked. I actually expected more based on how people act about it. So trying to quantify how them act and seek it out and hunt it and talk about it 24/7 with how it actually feel, I was disappointed. I was like, this time I'm going to over this. I actually enjoyed it, but I was like, whoa, all right, you know. But I guess it come with times because or like or like or like when you find the right one. Cause back then when I first was having sex, I wasn't really having it a lot or like need to. It wasn't anything, you know. But then what more to me was the thrill of doing it in like weird places or like taking chances. Yeah, so that's what, you know. But then just the thrill of doing it like car parking lot in the house while people is there in the other room or so. It was more the thrill of risk and thing that more, you know, doing it in places you shouldn't. That was make me really, you know, um things of that nature, just like unconventional risky type stuff. So but my relationships always last long and always stable. So there's no fight, no argument. And if you ask my last girlfriend, there's very few arguments, just probably one I can actually recall or two. And there's always something I say that is out of the ordinary that my logic tells me say this is something wrong. But I don't get jealous, you know, and all that. I'm not a person who worry and fret thinking next month or so. Because to me that's the best thing that can happen. Because if you find somebody that will make you happy and you decide to leave, you find somebody better, that's your business. That's something that you should do because everybody want what's best for them. It's like a job. People always leave jobs seeking better pay. Somebody join a team and let him go up on the next team or so next team because they want better career, they want to win a championship, they want more money. So whatever is a championship to you, whether it's more money or so or like or whatever, and you find better and you all leave, but it's always I'm welcome. I will never hate you for that. Because everybody have a right to seek what truly make them happy. You know, and if what you find happiness is like not me, I can't be mad at that. You know, if I truly love you, I'll be happy for you and say, okay, go on, good luck on your next team or whatever. I hope you win the championship or like whatever you're seeking. But what will piss me off now is when you're doing that and want to keep me hanging on, like, yeah, give me a bun and cheat. I don't like that. You know, because you're deceiving people and playing with people, hearts and feelings. You know, so if I think something like that is happening, I'll get upset. But I never get upset if a person wants to leave, because there's no marriage, there's no contract. You know, there's nothing. You're free to go anytime you want to go. That's basically my thing. In fact, the sooner you go, the better, because it saves us both time. You know, instead of invest, you know, until marriage and kids and all them stuff. There, no, just do what you need to do right now. That's basically my take on relationship and so. So that's part of the reason now why I'm single. Not because I have fears of infidelity or so. That's never on my mind. It's just the trust issues in terms of safety. You know, whether people will use people close to you against you, or to eat from people, think what people cook on them stuff there. So my thing is really safety and trust, not living together, compatibility, or insecurity about anything. You know, because what is for you have to be for you. You know, so. But I've seen where the devil like to use people, and what better to use than somebody who you totally trust, who's close to you, who asleep next to you. So I don't want to give that easy option to the devil, because I realize that the devil have a particular hate for me as a child of God, as somebody who is called to do something that, you know, I've seen the devil constantly, like some man pet project, my favorite thing, like my the top of the list. When time the devil, I'm wake up in the morning, if I'm torment Omar to the or like or like something that I'm nature. So knowing that and how much the devil um hate me, I want to stop me from achieving what God wanted me. And I think he has some success thus far, but not because of my indiscipline. Everything bad that happened to me, every time I fall prey to a trap of the devil, is me going against what I know. As in, I can count on one hand the amount of time the devil catch me by surprise or I'm truly shocked. Everything that happened to me, I know already. But I just choose to ignore that still small voice, or what I call a gut instinct. But what I really think is the Holy Spirit or God that guide me. But some people they call it like a gut instinct. But every time I disobey that voice or go against what I know, that's the times bad things happen to me. You know. So I decided to not go against that voice anymore and to always listen. And right now I'm listening to the voice of logic and reason, and just keeping myself to myself. There's nobody that the devil can use against me to harm me or to poison me or trick me or con me. You know. And likewise, I don't have anybody that the devil can use against me to blackmail or force me to do things that I shouldn't or to not to do things that I should. If you get what I'm saying. Because everybody that would fit into that category it may use to harm me already. So I don't have any children or any kids that I actually know of. Nobody ever tell me something or you have this child or like whatever, you know. And if so, they can only be two occasions or two instances, you know. And both those people migrate, and they never call back and say Ray or like whatever. So if I have kids overseas, I don't know. One actually did call back, but she never did. Um, she never did say why, you know. So we're just on the phone like I remember she called me and she like she don't feel well or something, you know. But she never say anything about that, you know. So that's why I think there is a possibility, because I do recall going to the pharmacy and getting those tablets, those Pastinor tablets, and giving it to her. I don't know if she took it, but I brought it in an orange juice. But I never watch her and say, "Hey, drink this," and like stand up and force her and say, "Ray, Ray." It's like I do walk kids, but at that stage of my life, I never have the financial means to take care of a child. But if I had, or if I'm told that I had a child, then I would put myself in place for that to happen, like get a job or something of that nature, you know, because I am like that, you know. I remember one time I was on a job and I quit this job that my friend get me because the driver was actually taking steps in the sense that he was trying to bond with me, like talk like man and man, and I'm reason. And at that time, to be honest, I wouldn't say I was being antisocial, but I just had my headphone listening to my music. It was back then the Nas and the Damon Marley album, you know, Distant and Relatives. I was into that album, so I was listening to it and like it's all I wanted to was a headphone. And he was driving on a reason like rare brag, and he was a stereotypical macho man, like man, but like brag boy girl, but them run through and all them stuff. But he was old enough to be my dad, and like I find it kind of curious, like why a man that age I live with son, why I feel like I need to brag and show up and tell me them things, why I'm things that I would have care or like something, and I actually felt it like annoying. Cause I just like him go overboard with it, like say him go out and wait for try for either prove to me or try to connect on a level that him think I'm on, or I don't know why, but I guess at the time I wasn't really into that or into receptive, and like even now, you know. So him start have attitude in the sense that when him see me, you know, it actually reflect in his driving, as in him start drive more aggressive. Cause I guess like him just want to reach where him reach quick, so him can reason with somebody, or go, you know, or just don't feel comfortable, cause maybe there was some people do like silence or like things that it was kind of, you know. So I never actually like that. So that was that. And then now when I want to stop and buy something to eat or to use the bathroom, him no want to stop, you know. Him say when time we reach in the town, we can buy food or whatever. But I don't want to buy food in the allocated town space where we're supposed to go, where it is known that we're going. Like, so, okay, we're going to this square to fix this, to install this, and you have the vendors there with the food or the restaurants there with the food. I never want to eat at those allocated places, if you know what I mean. I wanted to eat at some random place or some random stall along the way where we would not be going, or where we're not supposed to stop. I don't want to go where we're supposed to go, to eat at the designated areas, so to speak. So then we have like a issue, you know. So one time we stopped at like a light or something, and I just open the door and just come out and go buy something. But him did actually drive off shortly after. Like as soon as step out, him like drive off. So the vehicle was slightly actually moving, and I think the door must have leaked a water or something. So I'm coming out and I talk about how me damage the company vehicle, like me causing for this and all them stuff there. So when it pain my mind, but I realized it might move like a more physical. So I went in a bar and I bought like a supper gin and I bought a Guinness. And he came into the bar and I move away, and I'm not really paying the mind still, but I realized I'm getting physical. That's practically the reason why I bought the Guinness, because I wanted the bottle as like a weapon to, like, just like a weapon, as in what you would do with a buckle, you know, knock him on the head with it. When it breaks, use it for cut him, stab him, or whatever, bust him throat. But that was murder. But if he attack me in the self-defense, then, but that's the intention I had why I actually buy that, because all I wanted was the supper gin. And then I thought about how like, my drink on the job or whatever. But if I move away until the bartender and realize I'm like, yeah, I'm what he's doing and all them stuff there. And there was camera in the store, and I showed the camera and say, if you hurt me first, people are gonna know, because you when I start nothing, and him just leave and I'm drive off and me find my way home. And that was in the country actually. So him go back to work until him see me walk out the job, and him a charging on my phone and can't get me. So I'm take a bus, come back to work, and then now while we're in the work there, while we're in the work, we're in the waiting room for the meeting, because I'm still want to talk to us both, me and the driver. And the only reason why he's the driver is because I never have the license to like drive the vehicle. But he's working there longer than me. I'm just there for like about 2 or some months. So I don't expect them to fire him to really accommodate me, because I get the ultimatum, so I'm not working with that man because I don't trust that man. Because while he's in the meeting, before the meeting, while my name is in the waiting room, he's there taunting me and I talk about him want to meet at home. And this is a grown man who is old enough to like be my father, or something like that. It's not like a little hype up, little young you or short temper. Yes, sir. It's like a big man. So maybe I don't really expect that. So when we're in the meeting now, he's acting all kind of innocent and this, and when I tell him that he did such and such, and and even in the waiting room, him there threatening me and taunt me. I thought, well, me, I would never do that. And I'm talking like in this respectful tone. So that sort of convinced me, say, yo, I can't work with this man, because the man mental him schizo or something or another, but the man look like him possessed with something. Because I see some split personality on the man, so and plus him drive too actually like erratic. So I don't really like that, because it's like a highest bus, and with a right to the front, there's no bonnet, there's no nothing. So there's nothing stopping this man from driving and making the right side or like making the left side of a vehicle looking at something where like me or so I really never trust that man. So I decided to say I'm gonna leave the work, because I had to work with him, because he's a driver and he's there for I don't know how long, but long before me, and he's seen like he's well loved there and he's well trusted and well appreciated, and so I never really, so I see where look like they was I'm making some kind of efforts to really keep me or so, but I decided I'm gonna walk off the job. And then my friend be like, who actually got me the job, saying he don't know how me do it, him say how me it's like leave the job. So I said, well, if I was in your shoes and I had kids and wife and responsibilities, mortgage and car payment, then I would stay in the job, because I have to until I find something better. But fortunately, I don't have any kids to feed, and I don't have those other responsibilities, so I can afford to walk off this job. So I did. So that was that, And I've always been a person who like walk away from like conflict and confrontation. I'm not like a warmonger. Even when I was in high school and I was like beating up people who troubled me, or beating up people for my friends or so, I never actually went in when I could walk away. Probably the final year when I'm mature, because when I was younger, like second form, third form or so, and them time there, I wouldn't actually back down from a fight, under no circumstance, But as I get older, like I remember the last fight in fifth form, I'd actually walk away, and it's me to win. Like I was winning. I'm not like say I was losing, This dude punched me for no reason, and that's the only time I ever been punched. I'm sitting down in the chair talking to my friend, and he walk up and punch me. Well, it was his chair actually, And in the time like I'm come out and it was his class, it wasn't my class, but I was in there talking to my friend, so him can wait till later because class never start. So him decided him gonna turn me in my face and walk away. So him turn me in my face and walk away. I do actually record it because him turn like a girl still and him bigger than me, as in stouter. Probably the same height or shorter, but like much stouter. So him turn me in face and walk away like him do something. And I was very insulted. Not because him taunt me, that too, but because him do it and walk away and turn him back like say, not come out of it. Like he just taunt me and walk away like there's no repercussions. He just boop on this walkway and feel good like yeah. So I was really, for him to walk away, he didn't really expect anything from him. So I was very upset. So because him do that now, I don't hit people in the back, but I think that I deserve to punch him in the back because I'm walk away. So I punch him in the head back and that actually fracture my wrist, but I never actually know. So then him turn around now and then fight start and beat him up. After I beat him up, him friend him gave him a knife. Him like went to the back of the class and him two friend them who actually is also my friends gave him a knife, and that showed me the true nature of people. Cause those two guys were actually my friends, not really good friends, but were like good, were like good enough friends where they shouldn't have done that, you know. And then now, I actually recall how we turned friends. Um, they tried to beat me up in high school once. In first form, they were trying to bully me, and I beat them up, both of them. And after that, now, a couple months later, like a year later or so, I'm going to the same class and like I became friends, but they never actually forget. And keep it through them time, there. Even though we see each other during the summer, upon church trip, because we go to the same church, as in same branch, but different, same, same church, but different branches. Like, them go to town, me go to Portmore, and we talk on a reason. We see each other at summer jobs, even though one time I think then we walk around upon payday, you know. I just wait till them put an arm myself and walk home by myself. But I was disappointed when they gave him the knife. So when them gave him the knife and I was unarmed, I went downstairs and chilled by myself. And when I chilled by myself now, they're upstairs taunting me about what I'm gonna do. So I guess send out somebody to buy a knife. Cause we're not allowed to leave the school, but you have people who would buy food for like buy the part of them downtown or buy it across the road. So I gave one of those persons some money to buy a knife for me and come back with a rusty knife. So they never buy me a knife, never buy a ratchet, them come back with this old rusty knife or them take mix cement, this blunt knife. I was upset, but then I look at the knife and said that this would be more damaging to hurt. Rusty, I'm gonna cause all kind of infection and something, and so I was happy. So I take the knife and I hold it on in my bag, and I sit down right below the classroom while them taunting me, and they were taunting me. I just look up and do nothing, just drinking my juice while I'm taunting me. And then he came downstairs when class finished or whatever, with a whole heap of excitement, and grab on for me. And my hand is still in my bag, and I'm holding his hand and I'm telling him to let go, you know, because I don't want to hurt him. Cause I don't beat him already, and again, because it don't make sense. Because what I'm planning to do to him, I can't do it in front of the whole school with everybody watching, cause I'll get in trouble, get expelled or go to jail or whatever. So I guess not really walk away from peace. I guess I'm not really being peaceful, but I see it as being peaceful and like actually I walk away. But when I actually look into it, because I realized that if I harm him in that way, there will be legal consequences. So I was content to actually walk away. But I'm not sure if it was me and him alone, and I could actually harm him without legal repercussions if I wouldn't. But I think I would not, because I don't know. But I only say that to say that. But then I actually start to mature and realize it don't make sense getting into these argument and fight and fuss, and that translate into my relationships where I don't get into any kind of argument or any kind of fuss unless it's something that is life and death and I'm totally worth it. I don't do argument and cussing, you know, under no circumstance. That's just how I stay. When I see my friends arguing and cussing, I'm always the peacemaker, because it really do worth it, and under like no circumstance, unless it's survival or life and death, unless somebody threatening your life, then that's the only way I would engage in an argument. That means that I would not punch a person or harm a person anyway unless it's life and death, because that's where it will end up to. See what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I'm a peaceful person, because I don't like Chinese movies ending. I don't like the Japanese "I will avenge you" ending. of people coming back. So yo, you know, him doing so and so. No, I don't like that. So I like to finish things before the start, and that would require lethal force. And for a simple argument over step on shoes or a man bounce or so, that will require lethal force. You know, so I don't get into minor arguments and quibbles or so. So I'm a peaceful person. And probably because I'm a love person, because I get along with everybody and I have few to no enemies. You know, everywhere I used to go when I was doing music or after, so everybody loved me. Every ends me go upon when I chill with friends them from different sections, different parish, different, and not name it any places because I don't want to make people think anything. But everywhere I go, you know, people always talk on to me and just like good spirit and good energy, good vibes and all them stuff there. So I don't have any kind of enemy, and I have never actually needed to do that. Even with my friends, when them have problems with like other people, I'm always the one to make peace and help it to not escalate further. You know, because some things actually really don't worth it. So that's like um the daily vlog. So look out for the music and the merch, the clothes with our design, you know. Whereas again, just music and merch. It that that's all I mean to music and merch and the current affairs, you know, the Trump and some local affairs in the US and government because I like the revolution that is happening. It's a beautiful thing happening that is doing with Donald Trump and Elon and everybody, you know, Cash Patel. I don't remember all the names, you know. Even Caroline Leavitt is like a breath of fresh air when you look at the other press secretary who was lying and very condescending. So, and the Doge, very transparent, and it have me excited as a person who is not American, you know, from the outside looking in. You know, it's a stark contrast to what our local government is, which is basically a mirror of what the Biden government was. So, and even our local media, I think our local media is still, I don't know, it's still like the remnants of that era. It was always very pro Biden and pro Kamala, and even some of the local vlogs or some of the local vlogs that I'm seeing some on YouTube thing, and they're talking about the upcoming visit by Mark Rubio, and the way how they and the tone of the video is like it will be this big confrontation from this dominating colonizer who want to impose their values on us, and that we must actually resist them. Which, to some extent, them use valid points like the Cuba thing, like the Cuban doctors, you know, like the US wants us to stop working with Cuban doctors, um, because and they're free and they're helpful, but I'm saying where was this pushback when the US government was funneling money to our education system to push trans and woke values, which they did, without even put in the news. They report everything on news, but that never made the news. You know, that never made the news. Of this trans thing in the kids app to really confuse the kids. None of that made the news. And none of the blogs actually mention it and ask us to push back. But suddenly Donald Trump is in power and the tone has changed to a sort of like a militant fight against the power type thing. And it's very hypocritical. But anyway, so all those things we will look at in the blog as I get familiar with the app and how to create the videos, and I'll be using links and clips to show these points, and I try to elaborate on them in a clear manner. I don't know how good I am as a speaker or how people will perceive or relate, but I will try my best, you know. But that's not what I think my call is, you know. I don't think I'm called to be a pastor or a minister, but I have a unique understanding of the Bible that is contrary to what is pushed by the Rome seminary trained people, you know, and what they want us to overlook. And I always look at what them highlight and push versus what them ignore. There are many things that's in the Bible that I learn every day that no pastor has ever taught. They must teach us certain things, you know, certain things, and I find it peculiar. So I want to highlight those things. That's what I believe my calling is, to show those things, you know, and to help people who God show me for help, you know. So basically, that's it for me. Take care. Have like a wonderful day again. So just part of the daily fight and the daily struggle. I still have a few issues dealing with, you know. As soon as I finish up those issues, I'll focus full time on what I believe my purpose in life is, and this is a blessing, as in the free time to sort out things and not rush and get into things. Music is only a small, it's only a small part. You know, so take care, everybody, and have like a wonderful day or good night.